And tell me your name. Hey, nice to meet you. This is you don't have. No, you're not your card.
No, we didn't tell you. Hey George, can you hear me? Open it back up, see if you can hear me. See if you can hear me with the audio.
Yeah, I can hear you, John.
So can you still hear me, George?
Yeah, he's getting dressed.
Okay. No.
It works out. So
You can hear me?
Studio.
Cool.
Yeah. There's another bathroom.
What are you using to communicate?
And then the living room.
Oh.
Good size.
Okay, I didn't see that down there.
So
That's
and then it
perfect
goes to
then.
the hallway. Oh, back down
Let's see.
there. See?
Oh,
Oh.
so 4 levels.
Yeah,
Oh. I know
Yeah.
people get, that's what we said, it's like.
You get lost.
It just keeps going.
it goes on. It's the
So,
the song, the
it's not ever.
that never ends. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
It's like the house when we first moved in, we would get lost.
Yeah, good.
I mean, you did fine in your first house and you lived there for a long time and you raised your family there.
17 and a half years.
And I couldn't tell, I was telling your wife I couldn't tell by the front of it if it went back far or not. And
No.
I'm hearing you had a third of an acre hiding back there though. But from the street, I couldn't tell if that was a long house. We used to live in the apartments right beside it.
No.
Mhm.
Oh yes.
Never
Were you
in that
lived by your
house.
mom? Your grandma in that area?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
right
it,
next to the,
No, I didn't.
just above from the Grove Crest. So you know that little cul-de-sac that's up in there. Grove Crest
Carlos,
apartment.
you know
Yeah.
everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, in the same place we did?
Yeah, right in that little brown house just east.
Oh, yeah, you showed me.
Yes, I should.
Yeah, they're next to, what's her name's house?
Paul's.
No.
Maybe there's one.
There's one in
There's one in
Croman
between.
Hooks?
Yeah.
Croman Hooks, yeah.
Croman Hooks.
Next to
Yep.
Croman Hook.
Yeah.
Who lived in the
No,
house?
we were
in your house?
Croman. Was
Were
it
you
Croman
in
Hooks?
Croman Hooks' house? Or were you
Croman
in
Hooks.
Croman Hooks?
I don't know.
See, I don't know.
Not
I
either.
gotta
Yeah,
look, I have to look and see, because I get a few.
I'm pretty sure Croman Hook. The name Croman Hook is on the original
Oh, was it? Okay.
deed, so I'm pretty sure. I think.
I don't remember. Because I know there was Croman Hooks and Powell's, but there was another house in there. I
Yeah.
don't remember whose is what. So this has to be like, I mean, I'm far too excited. This is not my house, and I'm so excited I can hardly stand
I
it.
know. It's just been an adjustment because I never moved. Like when I was little, I never moved. And then
We moved 3 or 4
We moved
times.
3 or 4
The
times
first
the
year
first
we
year
were married.
and then
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
So it's taking some getting used to.
And both Brad and Roger were your bishops.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Well,
that's-
Raj was in the he wasn't a
He was
bishop,
in the
he was in the
bishopric.
bishopric, but Brad was the bishop.
Yeah.
So
That's just,
so it was good.
you're a big girl.
Yeah, yeah.
See, and Carlos, like the house that we live in now, how many years have we been there?
Almost 18.
That's the longest I've ever lived any place in my life. We moved every year and a half or 2 years. My dad got transferred. It just made sense to me. You just pack up and new friends, new school. It's kind of fun. Kind of exciting.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is this called?
That's a harmonium.
He's doing a whole thing for his yoga studio
How does it sound?
school.
Too cool. Too cool. My gosh, you guys have a busy.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I was like,
Bellows?
I'm just never sure it's ever. I was thinking, am I ever gonna have a weekend where I just sit and not do anything?
What am I?
aware.
Yeah,
A little bit of movement.
this is a really good one. The one that's under here, it's a really terrible one. Okay, so I need to
It's on the transfer sheet, and I'll put it up there and then you rub it.
send that out.
I just go into it. Yes. Oh, yeah.
And because these last 2 weeks of my life, the first time that my health and I have to just sit there and not get looked at. And my house is awful, and I'm organizing, and my yard is awful, but I'm fixing, and I don't have to play catch up for the first time in my life, because all is out for work.
Yeah.
Engage and on Saturday. I will get caught up now. I'm 61 years old. So be patient.
Well, see, I can work for 17 years.
Oh,
I was able to help them. And so it was really nice, and I enjoyed it. And so that's why it's just being able to just come in and just do it all.
you've been working now?
So,
I think that
and
helped them
full time is 1 year. So yeah, I had this stuff to be like, okay,
That's okay. I understand the difference. Opposition.
you don't.
You understand the difference.
Yeah. And because I always knew, moms that work outside of the home, but you don't know. Just like I didn't know.
And people are always asking me, I work full time as a teacher, a school teacher, and people are asking me what I do. And I do not answer the question. I would do things like laundry.
Yeah.
And maybe wash my dishes with another.
Yeah. Exactly.
And making factory
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm wholesome lives. What do you want to do? This stuff I've been able to do my own life.
Yeah.
And my plants aren't dying. We've got tomato plants and zucchini plants and they're growing, and I just almost want to cry. Because you're in the water. I can't do that in the sector. So then you just have to put some. No, we have to fix this stuff. You set me a good example.
I just am like,
See, I like pictures. This is productivity. Productivity. Productivity is fun.
yeah, that's true.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah. I'm excited. And we have sprinkler system. Can I just tell you?
I'd rather.
We just- She's like, this was so nice, sir. Do you need help with anything?
Nope, we're set.
Okay.
Just waiting for folks to show up now.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. We'll see you. Will do. This is for you guys. Happy house. Mark wishes he could come, but he hurt his back and yoga this morning.
Oh.
He did something wrong. Those yoga rules. Come on in. This is wall, okay.
All right, so hello everyone. It sounds like there's a couple of people upstairs. So I will head upstairs and see who's here, and then we'll get started with some chanting, and we'll go from there. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you in a moment.
Mark says, I'm sorry, he can't come. He broke the himself. Yeah, he had back issues. Apparently he broke his. He did something. And I'm not completely sure it's simple. But his arms are both tingling. I get tingling arms and his legs are both. And it's like he's got so and I'm like, is it physical? Is it chronic? What is it? No, it's real. Like, don't even, I know it's real. It's real and nothing to do with it. Good.
Oh yeah.
This house is huge.
The short.
Yeah.
So this is.
Goodness, you guys aren't gonna be moved in for years. No. Ever. So it feels like. Something back. McKenna did that. Well, that was the color of the whole room. So she does much like that. She wasn't at the door that much, but. And not really. Right? Right, no, I have never mind that now. We have those together. I have an 8-wood closet, but the shelves are like that. You can't, put it out, you can't put it in. Wasn't it something? But still, it's a bathroom. Come in.
Come in. Come in. Come in. Come in. Come in. Come in. Come in. Yes. Your shoes.
How are you doing?
There's two reasons for that. One, the most important one.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know about the winter time, but right now, oh, this tile is like, oh, let's go walk on the tile. Winter time.
I don't know your name. I know, I can tell,
Yeah.
but it wasn't true. All right. Well, everybody else is like,
Okay. No, we're funny too.
we've been doing a little, have a look around.
Very good.
I'm gonna,
Oh, this is nice.
okay, so you have a choice. You can sit on the floor, you can sit on the chair. I don't care.
Okay, this looks nice.
Yeah, it looks familiar.
It does.
You want chair or floor?
No, it's in the floor.
You want the cushion?
Sure.
Okay.
And then up there.
Oh, I don't want to be, oh, I better be able to sit down. I don't want to be able to see myself. You're all, wave to the whole world, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, look, what's up?
You're live on one, but only the backs of your head.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not. I'm this one. We'll figure this out. I haven't figured this out yet. So, because I don't want, if I sit on the floor, I'm looking up at the chairs. So,
Does the fireplace work?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a gas fire.
Oh, still nice.
Well, I suppose it works. So far it doesn't. Oh. So just chat for a second. I just realized I don't have stuff on. You're back.
Monica. Edna, nice to meet you.
She kind of slung that down. It's really funny. But I think I was like, my arm worked for the friends.
Sorry.
So it's his fault.
Okay.
But it's awesome. So it's really funny.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Kind of funny to have. Like one of the cops that was there, you know, because I was in very good. I was like, and then he just told me, like, is that okay? Or like, her little trick. We're laughing. I'm trying not to fall. My push is sort of lying on the ground, laughing. Like, we're good. Although I didn't join community well, it just worked out to Scotland's.
Yeah.
That's Michael.
It's been a really long day. It's not just you.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We got a lot accomplished today, but it's so hot. It just drags on.
We had no middle. We went from 60s and freezing to
Yeah.
90s and 100s. There was no middle, no
Yeah.
80s. Yep. I don't mind grass.
Pretty sure, oh, I know, I put a little bit of water on my back one day, because it was, I thought, well, keep it light, maybe I don't know, but it's still gonna be brownish, it'll just be a light. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those, just try not to, try to keep it from dying
Yeah, make it through.
completely, and then,
Yeah, we talked to a guy that does landscaping. He said that everybody's yards this year are really struggling because the grass, because it wasn't a wet enough winter.
Yeah.
And it was a couple years in a row, not enough winter, and so
Yeah.
there's just no.
we like California, start spray painting our lawn.
Quite.
I'm serious. They have such bad water restrictions in California that you're not allowed to water your lawn at all, so the lawn's just dying. But people who still want their lawn green will have it painted green. There are companies going around offering that service to paint your lawn green. Paint the grass green. Yeah.
Easier to mow.
Heard on the news,
Yes.
but yeah.
Green. We don't ask for.
It's really down to steak grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very nice to sit on. I mean, it's kind of like, well,
It's not the nicest thing, but it's something.
That's true. We keep it in home and it's like this.
And I don't know.
I've already taken out this one part. Well, it's your staple. That's why it's water and mow it, and it's not going to get used. So,
I kind of really need to use some 4th of July.
yeah, we have a little small patch of lawn left. It's about half the size of this room. Like, sit on that, watch the fireworks on 4th of July.
You know what to use it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sure. What's that for? Libraries?
Yeah.
Tiny, adorable.
No, I'm gonna find it. It's just the right size to be a Christmas tree this year. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
What we might use it as?
No, we're not using it as a Christmas tree, but there are people who would actually steal a landscape tree and use it for a Christmas tree. I've got it down to Still, Mickey Walker had 2 trees stolen out of their yard. I'll start now to be thinking for Christmas trees. Yeah. It's terrible. Yeah. So, do my best. Hope for the best.
I was thinking about outside working.
All right. I don't know why there's so many different people doing so many different things at the Institute. Because it's so many things. Okay. All right. Hi. So I assume everybody knows everyone now. You all chatted and
ish.
got to know each other.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do something I have never done ever. I'm going to try only one with this. We chant what's known as the Asatoma prayer. And this is a mantra that means, lead me from the unreal to the real, and from darkness to light, from a time-bound consciousness to a timeless state of being. And that first part is Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Now, when I teach little kids how to do this, it works out really well. So simply repeat after me. Asatoma
Asatoma
Sadgamaya,
Sadgamaya
Tamasoma
Tamasoma
Jyotir
Jyotir
Gamaya,
Gamaya
Mrityorma
Mrityorma
Amritam
Amritam
Gamaya.
Gamaya.
That's the first part. The second part is Guru,
Guru
Brahma,
Brahma
Guru,
Guru
Vishnu,
Vishnu
Guru,
Guru
Devo,
Devo
Maheshvara,
Maheshvara
Guru,
Guru
Sakshat,
Sakshat
Param Brahma,
Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri,
Tasmai Shri
Guruve
Guruve
Namaha.
Namaha.
So that second portion is talking about the Guru. And that's not me sitting up here. It's none of these individuals and pictures and whatever. This is the true Guru, which is within each of us. Yeah, which we talked about. And that we each have the ability to create, sustain, and transform our own experiences. Yeah. So if I were to give you, Donna, an ice cream cone, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Okay. Okay, so that may not be the best example because you didn't actually create that. Okay, yeah, but still, it still works. If I give you an ice cream cone, you can either, why do you have to give me an ice cream cone? I'm allergic to ice cream. Doesn't he know I'm allergic to ice cream? This
I had
sucks.
the opportunity to share it with my child.
You can transform it to something else. I can give it to someone else. Exactly. So you have the ability we create our own experiences.
Whichever one's closest to me.
You win. Right now you win. So we create we create our experiences. You didn't create me giving you the ice cream cone or the allergy, but you create what that means when I give you an ice cream cone. And then you have the ability to transform it into something else by giving it to someone else. All right. Perfect. We can do that with any experience. And so the last part of that, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, it means the Guru is the Supreme Absolute. We're trying to allow that true Guru to shine through. That's the light within each of us. We're trying to let that light shine out. And that we're grateful to have that light. We're grateful to have the recognition that we have this true Guru. And then we'll finish by chanting Om.
Om.
Shanti.
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 Om means everything. It looks kind of like that. That's fancy. That's Om. Means everything. Shanti means peace. Okay. Everything that we just talked about that we'll be chanting is designed to create peace. Everything we do in yoga is designed to create peace. And one of our best tools when we're practicing yoga, or in life in general, is to notice when we're not experiencing peace. And feel, okay, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? And then to break our reaction to it. Of course, create, sustain, and transform. I'm having this reaction, this event's happening, I'm reacting to it, I'm creating this experience. I can then sustain it. I can try and go right along, or I can change it. I can do something different. So we're going to do something different. I've played, this is called a harmonium, and I've played a harmonium a number of times, but I've never actually played and tried to chant. And definitely not ever actually tried to lead chanting. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see. So just chant along with me. Amrita Just let your eyes close. And as the sound fades away, just notice how you feel. Notice the sensations of your breath as it moves in and out. As you exhale, let your eyes open. Jai Bhagwan. So Jai Bhagwan, Jai means victory, and Bhagwan means light. And we'll have to get back to light in a minute. We'll come back to it. So for this first part, we're going to do a little kirtan. Anybody know what kirtan is? I don't. Yes, yes, no, no. Okay. Kirtan is chanting. So technically what we just did was kirtan. There's two types of kirtan. There is call and response. Anybody ever saying, I saw a bear away out there? Okay. No?
I don't know, but I've sung the comments on fire. Oh, okay.
Okay, so call and response. Call and response is where I'll chant, and then you'll chant the same thing back. So that's one kind, and that's actually what kirtan is. The other form that's often wrapped up with kirtan is called bhajan. And bhajan is where everybody's chanting together, like, which is what we just did. Okay, so this would, the Asatoma prayer, that would be bhajan. And what we'll do next is some kirtan. And if you feel like moving, getting up and dancing around or clapping or whatever, it would go, that's fine. It's there. The only rule is that you enjoy yourself. Okay? That's the only thing. You don't have to get it right. They're easy, for one thing. You don't have to worry, like I said, you don't have to worry about getting it right. You don't have to worry about, am I on key? Nobody cares. Okay? And just so in case it comes up for you, the sound you're hearing is the cat. So you don't have to worry about that. He will take care of himself. Now there's a bear way over there. So give me a moment. Okay, so this first, we're actually going to start with some bhajan. This first mantra is so hum. It's very simple. So say so hum.
So hum.
Okay, really hard. So hum means I am that. And what this chant is So I am that. What does that mean? I am that true guru within. Right? And so the words for this are very simple. It's so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. And back and forth. Okay. And you can chant with your eyes open, your eyes closed. So what I'll have you do is simply listen along. We didn't move
Charlie wants to play.
He does.
Is Charlie feeling better?
It's adorable!
Say hi.
Yeah,
Charlie.
You're allergic to cats?
I am a little.
I am. I've
Oh,
always
yes.
wanted a cat.
It's not so bad except for the cone.
I'm never doing that. We found one I was allergic to, so.
Really allergic?
Sort of allergic.
Sort of
Well,
allergic.
yeah, allergic enough that I don't spend a lot of time with them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I keep this really well vacuumed because I don't really care for the cat hair when I practice.
Yes.
So
I get cat hair in my life, so.
I get that too. All right, so just let your eyes, well, you can leave your eyes open, you can let your eyes close. What I want you to do, go ahead and close your eyes. I want you to focus again on what you feel. So bring your focus out to the tip of your nose. As you inhale, notice the cool inhale, and as you exhale, notice the warm exhale. I'll begin the chant. And as you feel the tune, let yourself join in. I said the words are very simple. It is so hum, and I am that I am. So hum, 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 so hum. I am that I am. 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 So hum, so hum. So hum, so hum. So hum, so hum. So hum, so hum. I am that I am. 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 So hum, so hum. So hum, so hum. So hum, Soham, Soham, Soham. I am that I am. 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 Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. I am that I am. 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 Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. I am that I am. 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 Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. Soham, Soham. I am that I am. 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 Chant. And now just let yourself feel the echo of your chanting. Feel the stillness that you've created. And on your next exhale, let your eyes open. Notice how still you feel. Notice how your eyes tend to drift back and close, with your eyes open. Typically when we practice yoga and focus on meditation, we get quiet, get very still and very quiet. if you're to live your whole life very still and very quiet, it's very hard to cheer and get excited about a football game or birthday party or fireworks or whatever it is. Yoga's not asking you to always be down here, quiet and still. It's okay to be up here, but maintain the evenness. So we're going to chant a different chant. This is a chant about Ram and Sita and Hanuman. Now, there's a little story between these three. So Ram, this is a little Hindu mythology here. There are three primary deities in the Hindu mythology: Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. And they represent creation, Brahma, and preservation or sustaining, Vishnu, or transformation, Shiva, which is what we chanted about at the very beginning. The guru is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, which is another name for Shiva. And so this chant is about Ram, who is an incarnation of Vishnu, the preserver. The difference with this version of Vishnu, of Ram, is he doesn't know he's Vishnu. There's supposed to be 10 different incarnations, 10 avatars of Vishnu. And the other 9, they all know that they're simply a form of Vishnu. Ram has no clue. He's a king, and he just thinks he's an ordinary person. And he has a wife, Sita. Now, in the mythology, Vishnu has a wife, and her name's Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is over luck. She's a lucky lady. And Vishnu's a pretty lucky guy. But Lakshmi, she's over wealth and luck. And she's married to Vishnu. And in this life, in this story, there's Ram and Sita. And Sita, just like Ram, doesn't know that she's Lakshmi. And then there's Hanuman. Now Hanuman he's a monkey. He's the monkey king. And he's known as the son of the wind. For one thing, he never sits still. He's always on the go, always moving. He's best friends with Ram. He loves Ram so much that he actually has the name Ram carved on every one of his bones. Not sure what's behind that story. That's just the way it is. He's the monkey king. It's fine. He's got Ram carved everywhere. He loves Ram. Well, in this story, the king of the Asuras, the demons, has kidnapped Sita, stolen her away, carried her away to his island of Lanka, Sri Lanka. And he's got her captive there. And Ram can't find her anywhere. Well, his friend Hanuman helps him find Sita. And he brings his monkey army, and they overrun the island, and they rescue Sita. And he helps reunite Sita and Ram. You know, live happily ever after. And it takes about 5,000 pages of story to tell the story of Ram. It's called the Ramayana. It's a very long epic poem. I'm not going to sing it all. We're going to chant Bolo.
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 Oh, let's see. I'm out of order. Rama.
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 Bolo.
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 Sita.
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 Bolo.
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 Hanuman.
Hanuman.
Bolo.
Bolo.
Hanuman.
Hanuman.
Bolo.
Bolo.
Now you know all the words. This is call and response. It's pretty simple. You've done this before. It's pretty simple, right?
Yep.
And just kind of listen and feel. See if you can just kind of feel how the story goes. The love of Ram and Sita. the love of friendship between Ram and Hanuman, the loss of Sita as she's kidnapped, the search for Sita, her rescue, and then their Ram and Sita being connected. So Ram and Rama, not Top Raman, Ram and Rama, it's all the same. My name Ram Das, that Gurudev gave me, means the servant of Ram. Ram is also the sound your heart makes. Ram, 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 Ram. Again, you let your eyes. Go ahead and close your eyes. Again, if you feel like you want to clap, or you want to open your eyes, or you want to dance, or you just want to sit and listen, it's all for you. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Your turn. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. My turn. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Your turn. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama bolo, 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 Ram. Sita bolo, Sita 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 bolo, 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 Ram. Rama bolo, Rama 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 bolo, 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 Ram. Sita bolo, Sita 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 bolo, 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 Ram. Hanuman bolo, Hanuman bolo, 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 Ram. Hanuman bolo, Hanuman bolo, bolo bolo ram. Hanuman bolo, Hanuman bolo, bolo bolo ram. Hanuman bolo, Hanuman bolo, bolo bolo ram. Rama 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 bolo, Sita 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 bolo, bolo bolo ram. Rama 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 bolo, bolo bolo ram. Sita 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 bolo, bolo bolo ram. Rama bolo, Hanuman 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 bolo, bolo bolo ram. 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 Rama bolo, bolo bolo ram. Rama bolo, bolo bolo ram. Rama bolo, bolo ram. Rama bolo, bolo bolo ram. Rama bolo, bolo ram. Rama bolo, bolo bolo ram. Rama bolo, bolo ram. Rama bolo, bolo ram. Sita bolo, Sita bolo 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 ram. Sita bolo 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 ram. Sita bolo bolo ram. Sita bolo bolo ram. Ram bolo Hanuman bolo bolo ram. Ram bolo Hanuman bolo ram. Ram bolo Hanuman bolo ram. Ram bolo Hanuman bolo ram. Ram bolo Sita 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 bolo ram. Sita bolo ram. Sita bolo ram. Sita bolo ram. Sita bolo Rama bolo ram. Rama bolo Drop out of thinking into feeling. Notice how similar and at the same time how different this feels from everything's chanting so hum. And as you exhale with your eyes open, so one question I get quite often about chanting, not quite often, but occasionally about chanting, is one, why do we chant the same thing over and over and over and over? And the reason really is pretty simple. We want to keep it simple. And if you're chanting the same thing over and over and over, then you can start to feel, you're not worried so much about the words, you can focus more on what you feel. And so why do we chant in Sanskrit? The same basic thing. Although at first you're like, okay, there's all these words, all these jumble of words, I'm really not sure what they not even try to spell them. Don't ask me how to spell them. Rick Yorma. I know there's an M in there, maybe a Y and a T. You know. Or Hanuman. It's more so we can focus on what we feel. Not so much the story, although there was some story tied to the last chant. Not so much the story, not so much what's being told, but again, what do I feel? Can I feel what's being told, even though I don't know the words, even though the words are simply Rama, Sita, Hanuman, Bolo. And Bolo means welcome. It doesn't actually even mean anything to do with the story itself. Can I feel? And it's not even so much important, can I feel the story that might be told, is can I focus on what I feel? So this last one that we'll chant, this is another Ram chant. And this is all about what you feel in your heart. And so we're going to actually chant two more. We'll still chant this Ram chant first. The words are, I have to find it. The words are Shri Ram, Shri, which means beloved, and Ram. And then Jai Ram, which means victory. Ram. So it's Shri,
Shri,
Ram,
Ram,
Shri,
Shri,
Ram,
Ram,
Jai,
Jai,
Ram,
Ram,
Jai,
Jai,
Ram.
Ram,
Jai, Ajay,
Jai, Jai,
Ramo.
Ram.
So this is a bhajan, so just listen along. As soon as you feel the tune, feel the chant, join in. If you don't, wait for it. And if we finish before it picks up for you, that's fine. Focus on what you feel. Just let your eyes close. Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram, Jaya, Jaya, Jaya. Ram, the sound of your heartbeat. The reason why the story of Ram is so loved, so revered, because he was just an average, everyday guy who happened to be a king, an incarnation of the god. But he was just a guy, kindly heart, worried about his wife, worried about his people. He did everything he could to protect them. In short, it's a good story for our hearts. To recognize there's something divine about us. And we don't recognize it. And that the purpose of life is to be worried, or not necessarily worried, but to do everything we can to take care of those around us. Family. And the rest of the world at large. And one of the most powerful ways we can help our families, friends, and the people on the other side of the world from us is simply to be at peace. World peace can only happen one person at a time. Family peace can only happen one person at a time. Individual peace can only happen one person at a time. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It's all peace. When you exhale, let your eyes open. It's all about peace. Your peace. My peace. Now, I don't know if you've been swaying a little bit, moving side to side, but you've been seated on your butts for about an hour. So let's stretch your legs out and come up to a standing position. Moving gently. Just stretch your arms up overhead. Oh, interlace your fingers. Stretch. Press the palms towards the ceiling. Don't hold your breath. And as you exhale, just press your hips to the right and bring your torso over to the left. And inhale back up to center. Exhale, hips to the left, torso to the right. Back up to center. Just let your arms come down. Shake your arms. And step your feet a little wide. And slide your hands down the thighs towards the knees, past the knees towards the heels. Don't worry about getting too caught up in how far forward you're bending. Simply stretch. Now let your knees bend a little bit. We're going to move over towards the left, straighten out that right leg. Shift your hands if you need to. Make whatever adjustments you need. This is not some strict yoga posture that belongs in the front of Yoga Journal. Come up to the center. Then the right knee shifting over towards the right. Coming back up towards the center. And then with your knees bent, just place your hands on your knees and just move side to side, however your knees need to. And now press your heart towards the floor and look forward. Stretch the back and move the legs. Just being gentle. And begin stepping your feet towards each other. Knees stay bent. They can come right close, and we're just going to circle the knees. Just make some small circles. Going one way and the other. And just hang forward, just let your arms dangle like they're empty coat sleeves. You can shake them if you need to. Stretch. And slowly come back up. And we'll take just a little bit of a break. If you need a restroom, right down the hallway. Or if you need there's another one up the stairs. You saw it to your left as you go up the stairs. If you'd like a drink of water, come on up. This way. Yeah.
I don't. But. Pretty much.
Yes. We had a party, wasn't here, but we had a party yesterday.
Nice. Other people's birthdays.
See, I would mind, I think you might, when you said, it's like, oh, I know. I know.
Okay, my last verse there. It's, I don't know, it's weird. I'm learning that I need to let other people. That's a really hard. Some people do. I'm just weird. See, I love doing that with my friends. Yesterday, my husband, he's always trying to figure out how to do my birthday without upsetting me. So, yesterday, he finally, he got he came and surprised me at work. He came and surprised me at work.
I'll take it for
And
you.
brought lunch. Just had a great time and brought me presents and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. This is not my birthday.
It's all right.
So I'm loving your. I'm loving your hustle.
We're gonna go outside and sit on the porch. Well, there's no chairs up there. There's the gravity chair. Oh, yeah, you're right. We're done.
Okay.
The rest of it. You can come go forward if you want.
No, this is good. Because I don't know if I'm gonna feel it go back upstairs.
No, they're out in the front room. Huh? Her daughter is going through a similar experience that you did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're having a heart to heart. Yeah. Okay. So, tell. You need to let go of so. I sew everything. I don't get what I mean. Can't see. I know I've told at least two of you bits and pieces of this story, and this will come out to you right now. I think I've probably told you most of this story. I'm hoping I've told most of this story. This is about, well, this picture here, and how this, somewhat how this has come about. Gurudev, Yogi Desai, I'm just telling a story. It's actually going to be about this picture over here on the wall. This is Yogi Amrit Desai, and I call him Gurudev, which means beloved guru. And for nearly 30 years, I dealt with severe depression, suicidal thoughts, a couple of attempts, and nothing really changed. Nothing prevented it. Nothing changed it. It started when I was 8. First suicide attempt was when I was 10. And I began practicing yoga in 2002 because my oldest son, Jonathan, Jonathan, he has autism. And I've been told that yoga is good for kids with autism. So I was studying it. Well, about the same time, Shannon went chasing out after George, who was running naked into the snow in the backyard. And she slipped and fell and herniated a disc in her back. And the doctor said, before we do any surgery, I would like you to try some exercises. And I was reading up everything I could on yoga. And every exercise on the piece of paper was also a posture in the book I was reading. I'm like, well, if it's good for Jonathan and his autism, and it's supposed to be good for Shannon and her back, maybe it will be good for me too. So I started practicing. That was February of 2002. And it had an interesting effect on my depression. I felt my depression much more. I stopped trying to hide from it. It didn't make it better. And if anything, it made it much more intense because I felt it. But it made it less dangerous. More annoying, less dangerous. And Shannon will tell you, I talked less. Much less. That was the year actually that I spent 1 week in bed. I just was giving up to it. And that continued for the next 7 years. In 2009, I decided I needed a teaching certificate. I was already teaching people. I needed a certificate that said, I can teach yoga without killing you. So someone had mentioned a few years earlier, when you write about yoga on your blog, it sounds like the way that Yogi Amrit Desai teaches. Maybe you should try to go study with him. Okay, I'll try. So then I looked at the price and I'm like, oh, that's a little expensive. And I looked around at other teacher trainings and I'm like, oh, it's not as expensive as those. But there's this one where I can go and I can stay in my own tent and it's really cheap. I think I'm going to try that one. And then I went to try to find the registration for it. I could never find it again. Never. It was in California. It was closer. It was cheaper. Like I said, I could never find it again. And then I went to Florida. But before I went, in May of 2009, I bought the CD of the Amrit Yoga Level 1 practice in March of 2009. Prepare for what I was supposed to be learning in May. I didn't know this guy. I'd never practiced with him. But he had this CD, and it was his daughter leading the postures, and he was talking about what should be happening in the postures. So it was back and forth between the two. And now I started that in March of 2009, and I have not had a major depressive episode since. That's 6 years now. No suicide thoughts, let alone attempts, since. Those 2 months, March to May, of Amrit Yoga, did more for me than the previous 7 years had. Which is why I'm so passionate about yoga. And I'm really so passionate about Gurudev and what he teaches. And because he is passionate, well, it's not just because of that, but partly because of him, I'm passionate about this bald fellow over here. This is Swami Kripalu. And in the Amrit Yoga tradition, we call him Papaji, which means beloved grandfather. And his teacher, we don't actually have any pictures of him, this little black statue is a representation of him. And his name is Dadaji, which actually means beloved father. So we have a beloved father, a beloved grandfather, and a beloved teacher. It's really out of order. But it's okay. It's all good. And then over here to my left, there's a picture of Krishna and Radha. And in all Hindu mythology, they come in pairs. Ram and Sita, Ram, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Krishna, Radha. And there's a reason for that. The reason why they show up in pairs is because we have male energy, active, and we have female energy, receptive. And it's always represented. And the Amrit tradition is bringing consciousness, Shiva, into energy, Shakti. Shiva and Shakti, bringing the two together. And so in some yoga traditions, they'll talk about Kundalini, the coiled serpent at the base of the spine representing energy and bringing that upward. It's not that you all have a snake sitting down in your butt. There's no snake there. Okay? There's no one that believes that there's some guy with an elephant head walking around with 4 arms, or that, that there's some blue fellow walking. They're representations of what's going on internally. That we all have this female receptive energy. We all have this male active energy together, so you get the most bang for your buck, really. You know what it's about. So why Krishna specifically? The Krishna is recognized as one kind of the father of yoga. The Bhagavad Gita is 18 chapters of Krishna talking to Arjuna. Arjuna is a king, and he's an exceptionally good archer. And he and his 4 brothers have been cheated out of their kingdom. They've been forced into exile for 7 years. And after the 7 years, they were supposed to get their kingdom back. But not only were they forced out of their kingdom for 7 years, they were also forced out of their marriages for 7 years. They weren't allowed to spy themselves for 7 years. Their wives said, well, bull. So they went, and they were hermits in the forest as well for 7 years. But they all stayed separate. At the end of the 7 years, they called them the Pandavas. The 5 of them came back to reclaim their kingdom. Their cousins who had stolen the kingdom said, no, we're keeping it. You got to go away for another 7 years because you cheated on something. I don't remember what exactly. So they went back for another 7 years into the forest. 7 years later, 14 now from when they lost the kingdom. And their cousins say, oh no, And they realize that their cousins have become just terrible rulers. And Krishna says, it's your responsibility to destroy your cousins. So they've got huge armies, and Krishna is Arjuna's chariot driver in this battle. And because Krishna, or Arjuna, and his uncle, who has stolen the kingdom, they both go to Krishna and say, I want your help. But his uncle, the 2 of them, he gets to ask first, basically. He says, I want your armies and your weapons. And Krishna says, great, you have my armies and my weapons. And the uncle leaves and turns to Arjuna and he says, well, there's really nothing else I can give you. And he says, oh, sure there is. I want you to drive my chariot. He says, okay, I'll be your chariot driver. And they go, and Arjuna looks across and he sees all of his relatives and all of the teachers who had taught him when he was a youth. He goes, how can you expect me to kill these people? These are people I love. And the entire Bhagavad Gita is the conversation that the 2 of them have in the middle of the battlefield before the battle. And it's all about yoga. It's all yoga. And, Krishna starts off with the yoga of action. I think it's the yoga of action. And he goes through 18 different approaches to yoga, basically. So Krishna is considered the father, or the founder of yoga. And put all 4 of them together, or 5, because we got Radha. You can't forget Radha. Put all 5 together, and you have the board of directors. So back to my experience. In March of this year, or February through the 1st of March, I was down in Florida teaching at the Advanced Teacher Training at the Amrit Yoga Institute. And while I was there, an opportunity came up for me to work down there full time. I do computer technician. I'm a computer. I do computers through the day, and they needed an IT guy. That's what I was trying to say down at the institute, and I can easily step into that. And at the same time, I knew that I had this opportunity up here. And I was practicing, it was Wednesday, it was Thursday morning, and I was practicing. We have an hour and a half practice every morning. And as I got on my mat and began to practice, I just began to cry. And I cried, and I cried. And 45 minutes later, I was still crying and crying. And about 10 minutes later, I wasn't just crying, I was echoing as I bawled in the room. I was crying very, very loud. And up to that point through the week, my entire focus on why I was there, why I was teaching the small group that I had of the mentors, or the teachers that I was mentoring, was simply to serve, to pay back, and not really pay him back, but to serve him because he had been such service to me. He had saved my life. There had been many nights where I had sat with the knife against my belly, just waiting for the impulse to do myself in. And those 7 years of yoga, they helped me take the knife off my belly and put it in my pocket. It was still right there where I could grab it. And those 2 months when I first began practicing yoga, without me realizing it, reached into my pocket, took the knife out, and buried it. It took me a few years to realize that's what had happened. And shortly before I went down to teach, we had a year of difficulties in our family. And Shanna said to me before I left, she said, "I'm so glad you have yoga." Because if this had all happened, and you hadn't had yoga, it would have destroyed you. And then you would have destroyed our family. And I was very grateful, and it was very difficult at the same time to hear that. And I know it was true, absolutely true. I would have completely torn my family apart. And even realizing that just was so painful. And so all I did is, as I flew out to Florida, and as I was getting there to the ashram, to the institute, all I could think about is how can I best serve this man? Not because he needs my service. He doesn't need my help. The office needs an IT guy, but he doesn't need my help when it comes to yoga. He doesn't need my help when it comes to what he's doing. But I wanted to help. I wanted to teach other people. I wanted to make what he's doing more effective, if only because it has this many more people helping out. And I knew on Thursday morning that I was going to have to make a choice. And I was either going to have to choose to be here and serve here by teaching here, or I was going to have to give up here and stay in Florida and teach in Florida. And I knew I couldn't do both. For one thing, I can't be both places. Doesn't matter what the books say, I cannot be in both places. Right. I've had a dream of having a place where I can teach yoga and of starting a yoga school for more than 5 years. 5 years ago is when I started trying to make a yoga studio happen. And I knew that by the end of that week, I was going to have both options placed right in front of me as we had to make a choice. And so that was some of why the tears began on Thursday. And the reason why they kept going is partly because of how much love I have for this man, because of how much he's helped me and how much helping me has helped my family and made a difference here in my home, well, in this one now. But I didn't want that choice. I didn't want to have that choice. And sure enough, before I left, the CEO said, I want you to be right to you guys. And I started crying again. I'd already spent an hour and a half crying in that practice, and now I'm crying. And he's like, what's wrong? And I said, oh, I've got this. I've got a choice. And I knew that it basically meant giving up one dream. Because I dreamt about going and living in Florida and teaching and helping there at the ashram. And I've dreamt about having my own school teaching here. So here I am. And it doesn't matter that I'm 3,600 miles away from the ashram. It doesn't matter that I never actually met the bald guy. And I definitely never met this fellow. Or those two. But what I've learned is there's no, even though there's 3,600 miles between this physical body and that physical body up there in that picture, but there's absolutely no distance between us. That there's no distance, even though at the moment it feels like you're way over there in those chairs. And I'm thinking I should have moved them all up 4 feet. But there's no distance between you and me. And not only is there no distance, there's no difference. It's typical for me. I'm trying to pack too much into it. There's no difference between you and me. Now we're going to do I don't know what my feet can do. So just go ahead and close your eyes. Put your hands on your knees, palms up. What do I mean when I say there's no difference? Focus on the tip of your nose. And as you inhale, feel the cool inhale. As you exhale, feel the warm exhale. Now, using your imagination, as you inhale, imagine there's a small opening in your belly just above your belly button. Inhale through the nose. Now imagine you can breathe down and out through that opening in the belly. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the belly. As you exhale through the belly, imagine you can now inhale through the belly. Exhale through the belly, inhale through the belly. And if you have a difficult time imagining this, just take 2 fingers, touch your belly just above the belly button, so you know where you're feeling this. Let your hand return to your knee. Inhale and exhale through that opening in the belly. Now notice if you can feel any sensations around that opening. And as you exhale through the belly, imagine now that there's an opening in the center of your chest at the level of your heart. Inhale through the belly. And as you exhale, feel the breath move up to the center of the chest, out through the heart. Inhale belly, exhale chest. As you exhale, let the opening in the belly close. Inhale through the chest and exhale through the chest. As you exhale, imagine now that there's an opening in the center of each palm. Inhale through the chest. As you exhale, feel the breath move up to your shoulders, down to your arms, out through the palms of the hands. As you exhale through the hands, imagine that opening in the center of the chest closes. Inhale through the hands and exhale through the hands. Notice if you feel any sensation there in the hands. Now moving very slowly as you inhale, let the hands start to move up off the legs. Allow your palms to turn towards each other. As your palms towards each other, let them move toward each other. But do not let them touch. Let them move very slow. And as you feel the magnetic pull between your hands, start to draw them apart. And when you feel the pressure on the backs of the hands, let your hands move toward each other. So they're gently moving back and forth. Feeling the sensation between the palms, on the backs of the palms, on the backs of the hands. Your next exhale, let your hands drift back down to your legs. Just for a moment, notice the contents of your mind. As you exhale, let the openings in the hands close. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And as you exhale, let your eyes open. Let your eyes open. Now, I'm going to ask you to notice the contents of your mind. Did anyone have any thoughts? Are there any things? So no thoughts and no things. Anybody have an age in there? Do you know how old you are? How about your gender? Are you aware of what gender you are? How about your body? Were you aware of your body? Were there any edges to what you were experiencing? Were they just kind of out there? How about your name? Anybody have their name in there? So there's no thoughts, no things, no age, no gender, no body, no edges, no you. So what was looking in your mind? And that's the true you. All of these other things are different versions of labels. We throw all kinds of labels on ourselves. But we're not the labels. We're what's underneath the label. We're no thoughts, no things, no age, no gender, no body, no edges. There's simply that thing that was looking in the mind. And if I had that experience of no thoughts, no things, no age, no gender, no body, no ages, no me, and you had that experience, and you had that experience, and you, and you, and any of you out there in the internet then what's the difference between me and me? There's no difference. There's no difference between us. There's no separation. Yoga is, we all have this virus of separation. We think we're, in this case, 5 distinct people, and whoever happens to be out there watching us. When we just experienced what's inside is exactly the same. No thoughts and things, no nature, no body, no just no us. No difference. When we start to recognize there's no difference, then the concept of love one another, of love your neighbor as yourself, of being kind to everyone, that's all there is. Because being kind to me and being kind to you is being kind to me. Loving everyone becomes very easy. So I said that I was going to tell you a story about the picture. The picture is of Babaji. And one time when he was meditating, it got really, really hot. And so he decided he would jump in the river, go for a swim. There's a problem with that. It's monsoon season. So the river's swollen and running really fast. And he doesn't swim. So it's not necessarily the best combination. He jumps in the river, immediately gets cooled off, but he also starts to drown. And the river's carrying him downstream very, very rapidly. He figures he's going to die. I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And he hears a voice that says, Swami, stop swimming. And he immediately recognizes that it's Babaji, his teacher. But he keeps struggling. And he hears, stop, Swami, stop swimming. And so he stops struggling, stops trying to swim. And what happens when you just relax in the water and you stop trying to swim? And so this is a picture of him floating down the river. I wasn't going to get, this is a picture from the little shop there at Facebook. I wasn't going to get anything this time around. I always come home with stuff. I was going to get no stuff. I'm on my mat crying. And I've heard this story from 3 people while I was there at the Institute this time. Every day I hear another version, another instance about this story. And I hear this story in my head, but instead of hearing Swami, stop swimming, I hear Guruji, stop swimming. Stop trying so hard, stop swimming. So I had to go by the picture. We try so hard to make things happen. And when we let go and let things happen, everything starts to fall into line. Even if it doesn't fall into line really fast, everything starts to fall into line. Life becomes a little easier to live. Not because it's suddenly easy, but because there's less effort on our part of trying to make it happen. When Babaji was floating down the river and he heard Swami stop swimming, a mantra came into his mind. It's one that's common in India. And it's Satchidananda Murtaye. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye. Namastasme, 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 Namo Namaha. And it means Shiva, change. Shiva represents the power of change, transformation. That change, transformation, is the greatest guru. And that following this greatest guru will give us Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means truth, Chit means mind, and Ananda means peace, truly peaceful mind. And Namastasme is another form of Namaste, which means I bow to you. That we all want this, we all recognize. Who doesn't want to have a truly peaceful mind? Right? Truth, mind. And that's why I teach. So just kind of as the final little bit of this evening, the formal piece of this evening, is a little ceremony that's called puja. Now, traditionally, there's, or if you look it up online, you'll find two different versions of puja. You'll find Hindu puja, and you'll find, I'm not said Baptist. You'll find Buddhist puja. And this is neither of those. This is related to both of them, but this is something entirely different. This is recognizing the guru. This is all about recognizing the guru. And there's 5 different elements. So we have tilak, which is turmeric with a little bit of water made into it. And there's rice, representing earth, essentially. There's flower petals and a flower, also representing earth, also representing air. There's a candle. There's water. Let's get these in the correct order. So there's water. There'll be incense and a candle. Yeah. So we have tilak and rice, flower petals, water, incense, and light. That's actually what the fire is for. It's light. So what I will do is I'll take a little bit of the tilak and I'll put it on the third eye of each of the pictures in the little statue. And then I'll take a little bit of the rice and I'll press it into that same point where the tilak is. And if we actually had somebody sitting here, like if Gurudev were sitting here, the tilak would also go on the top of each foot, and so would the rice. Because the feet, right foot, left foot, represent male and female energy. And it's all about the energy. Then I'll take the flower petals and I'll just sprinkle some flower petals over the pictures in the statue. So that's the first half. And that's recognizing that there's something important about this lineage. For me, that's, as I've already described, there's definitely an importance to it for me. The other 3, the water, the incense, and the light. So I'll dip the flower in and I'll sprinkle a little water over the pitcher and the statue. And then I'll dip the flower in water and I'm going to spritz each of you as we go. Then I'll take the incense and I'll wave the incense over the pitchers. And I'll do the same thing to each of you. And then the candle, the same thing, the light. Because the first 3, we're recognizing that there's something unique about these 4 individuals, 5. But the last 3, we are recognizing that even though there's something unique about these individuals, there's something exactly the same among all of us. That we all have the true Guru. Or that we are all the true Guru. So the difference, back to the two different types of puja that you'll find if you look them up online. The Hindu puja is a religious ceremony. The Buddhist puja is welcoming or recognizing a revered guest. It can also be used. Well, it can be used for just about anything, as far as that goes. But usually it's for welcoming and recognizing a revered guest, or something representing a revered guest. And since we don't actually have Gurudev sitting here, for some reason couldn't get him to show up on short notice. We'll use this picture instead. But again, the primary purpose of this, it's not just to honor this lineage, it's also to recognize that each of us have this same light within each of us. So the last part of my story, going back to my practice in March down at the ashram. While I was there, every day I could only eat a very, very small amount of food. When I would make breakfast in the morning, I would take a teaspoon and I would put 2 teaspoons of granola in my bowl, 1 teaspoon of raisins, 3 or 4 almonds, a teaspoon of raw coconut, shredded coconut, and 2 teaspoons of yogurt. If I ate more than that, I was sick. And at lunch, I would take a serving spoon, and I would take half of the serving spoon. And in the evening, I would take that same serving spoon, and I would take half of that. And if I ate more than that, I was sick. And people were asking, are you intentionally eating this small? And I'm like, oh, I just feel really crummy if I'm eating more than that right now. And we had a very small teacher, Vida. She stands maybe about this tall and very, very thin. She makes Edna look like a giant. Okay. She was eating more than I was. Every time it wasn't that I was ill, I just didn't feel well anymore. And I was a little bit concerned about what was going on here at home. And every night when I would go to bed, as soon as I would lie down in bed, I would hear someone chanting in my head. And I would feel them stroking my head. I'm glad they got it the right direction. Get my hair good. And he would chant, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And I chant it over till I fall asleep. And every morning, as soon as I wake up, Om Namo Bhagavate, over and over. As I would get dressed, over and over, and as I'd walk over to the darshan room while I practice in the morning, over and over. As I'd lay my mat out to continue, as soon as I would sit down on my cushion, I'd stop. I couldn't remember it. I knew the words because that's the mantra that we chant. It's the mantra that Babaji gave Gurudev, is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And it means, not my will be done but thine. But I couldn't remember the tune. I tried to chant it. And that was Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night, and Saturday night, Sunday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And after I heard Guruji stop swimming, I heard Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I have not been able, or rather, I have not been unable to hear that sentence. I don't have to fight for that. I just close my eyes and hear it. So as I do the little puja here, I'll chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You're welcome to chant along with me. You're welcome just to listen and watch, or close your eyes and listen and feel. But regardless of what you do, just feel. Om Namo. See, here it is. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate. Vasudevaya. Om Namo 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 Bhagavate. Vasudevaya. Thank you for allowing me to share what I have been given. Jai Guru. Put your eyes open if they're closed. Jai Guru. Just go ahead and let your eyes close. We'll finish this portion just by chanting all together once. As you chant, just let yourself feel. Allow yourself to feel your own light shining through as you chant. What is it that's the same in us as the same in these teachers? It's the light of consciousness, the light of awareness, the light. You say, Jai Bhagwan, victory to the light. Let that light shine out as you chant. Let's take a breath in together. There's your exhale. Jai Bhagwan. Thank you, everyone. Definitely unrehearsed. Thank you for sharing this with me. And I didn't choose to come back here because I wanted to eventually have someone have their picture, my picture, on their mantle. I came back here to teach because I want to share the love that I have felt learning from this lineage. It's because, well, because I love you. I came back. I know this is the first time you've sat here, and this is only the second time that you've sat there. Because I felt so much love from what's been passed down from teacher to teacher to me. I want to continue passing that on. I want to give that away as much as I can. That's what it comes down to. Creative likes to call this the lineage of love and light. And they do the same thing. It's all love, it's all light. It's not about me, it's about you. Okay. So if you would like, put some water on, have some ginger tea or some Bengal spice tea, some gypsy throat coat tea. Or I can make some chai. Make some fresh chai if you want chai. Do it the Chandra Count way, which is cooking it all right snow right away. And, or, and since you came, there's prizes. Well, not prizes, they're gifts. Gifts to you. And since there's only 4 of you here, I can guarantee you're all going to go with me. But come on upstairs, let's chat. And this is the, and I hope you'll make this as much as you can, since I know you're leaving. You'll leave for San Diego on Friday. But make this your yoga home, and feel free to come by and not just.
For downstairs too?
It does.
Holy cow.
So actually, the way it's not. I'm suddenly thinking of the Lord of the Rings. The way is closed, and the dead keep it. Yeah, this goes down in an office area,
Okay.
and through an outside door to the garage. And that's actually the intended, but you can just come, drop your shoes off here and just come right up into here. But at the moment, it's the and if you stay for chai, I'll teach you how to make chai.
Oh, I love learning how to make chai.
Thank you for being here, everyone. Chai Bhagwan.